Hi guys, welcome into today's video. Today I want to do a dedicated video to game beauty. The reason I decided to do this video is because as a smaller content creator, I've been reaching out to brands, mostly indie brands at this point, just because that's where a lot of my interests lie. And I've been applying for the affiliate program, which is a unique discount code that you can offer your viewers. So if they want to go to their website and purchase something, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, you get a discount. So I applied with Game Beauty back in April at some point, and they replied, but not only that, they also gave me like a gift card so that I could go to their website and place an order. And that's what I did. It was like a $200 gift card so that I could kind of pick and choose the items that I wanted. So I picked some palettes and I picked lashes and liners. I didn't just go for the palettes. I wanted to try some of the other stuff that they had because it actually looked interesting. And initially the palettes arrived, but the lashes and liners didn't. So I was talking to my husband, I was like, well, maybe it was because they were lower items, like, items that aren't very expensive, and they were like, no, we'd rather you feature the palettes on your channel or something along those lines. But they all came. They just came separately, and it looks like the palettes shipped from the US while the lashes and liner did not. So I decided I wanted to do a video featuring all of the palettes. I'm going to test one palette per day. So I'm going to swatch these palettes. I'm going to do a look with each of them. So this is going to be a compilation video, you guys. So if you want to skip ahead to any particular palette, I will link the timestamps in the description box. Now, none of these palettes are newer. They were just interesting to me. They do have a new release, which is the Attack of the Titans, which looks like it does come with some quads, some lip glosses. The quads look like they retail for $18, where the lip glosses retail for $15, and they do sell them as a bundle. They didn't allow me to choose those items, particularly because I think they're new releases, so the code didn't work for that. So I picked up some older items that just really looked appealing to me. So I wanted to show you like the box and the little wrapping, the little game controllers, which is really cute, just different kinds of game controllers. I think I mostly wanted to do this video testing these palettes really as, kind of a way to, feature the brand and really say thank you. If you guys have been watching any of my other indie eyeshadow videos, you might know I always get very excited when indie brands or any brand will team up with a smaller creator, but it especially and personally makes me excited. So like as kind of a tribute, but also so that I can get to play with these palettes and kind of test the quality of Game Beauty. That's why I wanted to do this dedicated compilation video. Anyway, my code with them is KARIM. I will list it in the description box in case you guys are interested in checking out any of these palettes. Now let's get into what I picked up. So these elemental palettes looked absolutely adorable. I think these are the thing I'm most excited about, so I'm probably going to start with one of these palettes today, but I also picked up some of the ones that are like the trifold. So here's the first one. It's the Geoblast, so it's number 3, and the color story is pretty darn neutral. Don't know which one of the elemental ones I'm going to pick first, but some of these shimmers look really, really good. The quality here just looks delightful. I don't know if any of them are duochromes in here. Some of them look like deliciously foiled shimmers. By the way, most of these palettes, as far as I can tell, were made in China. They all have a 12-month shelf life, and they are vegan and cruelty-free brand. And Game Beauty is out of North Carolina, where most of these palettes came from. The second one is the 01 Pyro. I'm so excited for this one. This one looks like delicious little shimmers in it, like especially this one right here. I featured these in a recent eyeshadow collection and declutter video, and I wanted to swatch this one so badly. The last one here is part of the Elemental collection. This is 04 Dendro, which is in all kind of green, more monochromatic in each of these color stories. This one looks delish too, like especially this shimmer right here. But even this one over here kind of looks like it might be like a translucent multi-chrome. And then the two trifolds that I picked out, these are just appealing for me in terms of color story, and that's why I ended up picking both of these ones up. But the shimmers don't look as delicious. So the first one was the Adventure palette. The color stories match pretty well with the outer packaging. This one's like a green kind of neutral palette. Some of these shimmers look a little bit more sparkly, and this one here is a pressed glitter. And then the final palette is the Harbinger palette. And here is the color story. A lot darker color story on this one. And you could definitely do a different look with these palettes and their color stories, but I think I'll do one look, one palette, one day. And here are some of the lashes. They're called the Anime Eyes. And this one is in Otaku 09. They just look like really thin bands, and they also look more on the natural side. So they look like something that I'm really into right now as far as like wearing lashes. And then this one is Lun-Lun, which is 05. And they seem pretty affordable too. And then I picked up 2 liners from the Persona 5 Royal collab or collection. They're called the After School liners. I picked up 2 shades, and I don't have either of these shades in these colors in my collection. This first one was a yellow one in Skull is the shade here. Hopefully that's not too bright. It's really hard to read the yellow writing anyway. And then I think this is a green one in, yes, in Oracle 05. I think we're gonna go for the 01 Pyro today because I have been eyeing this one since it arrived. It's the one I'm most excited about. So I don't think I'll use either of the liners with this look because it's a more fiery color story, a more orangey color story. But I think I will try the first set of lashes. All right, let's swatch this out. Let's start from the top left, and I'm just gonna go across. I really do like doing live swatches as opposed to like on my arm, so you guys can see how these shades pull like right away. This one's called Splosion, like explosion, but it's got an apostrophe. Okay, so I just adjusted the brightness and then I started swatching away, but it didn't hit record. So this should be like a truer indication of the color since I turned the brightness down. But so far these are swatching like amazing. They're super creamy, and sometimes my favorite mattes in the way that they perform and blend don't always swatch the greatest, but these are pulling like delightfully. You see? So yummy. This next one is Inferno. I love this color story. Right now, I cannot wait to get this on my eyes. I skipped that one like kind of across my wrist. And this shimmer, this is the one I'm using today. It's called Sparks and Splash. And I think it's kind of like an orange that has some gold in it. Oh, yummy, yummy, delicious. This next one is Phoenix Strike. It's another shimmer. It's a deeper shimmer. These shimmers are so deliciously yummy on the swatch. But this one right here, like the gold that's in it is just, oh, so gorgeous. All right, Scorch is like an orange matte. I want to say 2 of these shades in the pan look very similar. It's this one and this one. And they actually do look pretty similar on the swatch. These are very monochromatic elemental palettes. I mean, it makes sense, you know? And then Hellfire is the last shade, which is the deepest. Wow, this is freaking creamy. Oh, I'm so excited to get these on my eyes, you guys. There is the full color story. See that one shimmer and how exciting that looks? I cannot wait to use it. And this one is like such a yummy looking shade that I think I am going to use that one for certain. And I might deepen with this one in the outer corner. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with this shade as a transition. I'm gonna go up here and use this one because it's like this really cute peachy color. I am going to deepen with this one, and then I'm going in with this shimmer right here. I'm actually gonna use my Colored Rain, my new brushes that I just picked up from Colored Rain. They were so affordable. I went back to look at the prices on these, and because they were like pretty discounted, some of them were like $2.10. Wow, you guys, look how pigmented that is. This is intense. I didn't even dip back in for the second eye. These are nice and pigmented, and they're not skipping. At least that one is. I think that's all I want with this one. All right, I'm gonna stick with that same brush. This is just the blending brush from Colored Rain. And I'm gonna like go into the crease with that one shade. Wow, this is like almost neon. It's so bright. And it's like taking over that other lighter shade that I laid down. But I like both of the colors. I'm gonna take a bigger brush. What is this? Just a fluffy blending brush to go back into that lighter shade and bring it a little bit higher. I like these 2 colors together. I just swallowed one with the other. I think I'm gonna try like a halo eye. I'm really not good at these like at all, but I'm going to attempt because I want that shimmer, I don't know, like on the center of the lid. Well, let's see how this works. I'm just taking a really tight pointed brush. This is a Clarity Cosmetics brush, another brush that I picked up from my indie brand hauls. It's the K1248. Okay, so far, this palette is amazing. Like the quality of this, by the way, I see a ton of larger creators having received these palettes in PR. I mean, mostly like the Adventure Harbinger, like this series palette, and then doing declutters at the end of the year and passing along a lot of them. And I kind of was thinking, all right, you know, Game Beauty, a newer brand, maybe the quality just needs time to like catch up with other indie brands. But like these mattes in this palette here, they're so pigmented. I'm barely tapping in and I'm getting the best pigmentation and they're blending beautifully, like perfect, like absolutely perfectly. I couldn't see myself like decluttering it unless it was like a color story thing. All right, let's find a tighter brush. Again, another Color Drain round shadow brush. And I think I'm gonna spray this, just a little bit of setting spray, and then go into that goldy shimmer. I didn't even wash this off yet. It's still chilling on my arm. I think I'm gonna start by wetting my brush, but I might like go in with my finger on the other one. Oh, this is exactly what I was hoping it would be. This delicious orange, just deliciousness. All right, I am gonna switch to my finger to just move this along a little bit faster. Oh, that's so yum. Yum, 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 yum. These are a lighter shimmer. They're not like foiled or anything. They don't have much texture to them. So they have a little bit of tack. They're really nice. All right, I'm just gonna deepen out here. I don't think I'm gonna grab any more from my brush, but I'm gonna take this one just a little bit farther in, and then I'm gonna blend these two together. I'm gonna go back into that Splosion shade, the one I just used as like a crease or a transition shade. Even though this palette is pretty monochromatic, you do have like depths here. So you can really get good depth out of this if you wanted to. Okay, nice. I think I'm gonna use my finger for the other side. It's pretty early in the morning when I'm filming this. I haven't eaten yet and I can hear my stomach start to tell me, time to eat, girl. You guys, look at this. I started to take it off. This is freaking wild. I feel like these reds are definitely gonna stain me or like need, you know, my standard like waterproof makeup remover. All right, I'm gonna use my ColourPop BFF. What is this called? Cream gel liner for tight lining. All right, I'm going in with my Essence super fine liner pen, and I'm going to just line like the inner part of my eye. I didn't do a lot there, but I want to take these lashes here, which are the Otaku, the 09, because these look, I don't know, pretty natural looking. These cases are so cute. The bands look pretty thin. Let me see if I need to like cut these down any. Yeah, they're a little bit long for me. So I think I'm gonna take some like 2 little notches off of the back. And then I'm going into my Moira 2-in-1 lash adhesive and waterproof liner. Okay, I need to go finish my base, my face makeup, and then we will come back and finish the eye look. Okay, base makeup is done. These lash bands are so thin and so comfortable. They were very easy to apply. I threw a really light like cream liner in the waterline. It's the ColourPop BFF cream gel liner in Honey Dude. It's really, really light. I really didn't want anything deep in the waterline. I think I want to take the deepest shade, the same that I did in the outer corner here for the lower lash line. It just looks so much lighter, like on the eyes, mixed with the other color. Let's take that shade and bring it on the lower lash line in the outer part here. And I'm gonna see if this gives me any like difference, but I'm gonna take this shade right here and bring it in over here. No, they look like the same shade basically. I'm gonna do the Maybelline Sky High for the lower lash line. Okay, and that's it. I think the quality of this palette did not disappoint. This is such an easy palette to work with, and even with this like monochromatic nature of these elemental palettes, it was just so easy to work with. Like everything was absolutely seamless. I loved the performance. I loved the look, you guys. Everything just performed perfectly. So that is the look for today's video, you guys. I enjoyed everything that I put on. I will see you guys back here for another day. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome back to another day of testing another eyeshadow palette from Game Beauty. I haven't filmed this cumulative video in a while, so I'm getting back to it. I've been testing so many other indie brand eyeshadows that I just haven't had time to sit down and dedicate a video to a new one of these palettes. But I wanted to give an update on the lashes and the palette that we put on last time. I thought this was really good. The longevity here was pretty decent. I'm not a huge fan of monochromatic looks, but I think this was nice. I think there's enough variety here. I would say though that this tone here is brighter than it seems in the pan. It seems like it'd be a nice deepening shade, but it diffuses out to be a lot like this shade, especially when you layer them. I mean, that was really the only thing that I noticed. My daughter, when I picked her up from school, she got in, she was like, oh, I really like your eye look. And she like never compliments my eye look. So I think she enjoyed it. But the lashes in 09 Otaku, they were just too short. I was looking for something a little bit more natural, and even though I loved the band and I loved the way that they felt, they were easy to apply, I think that wearing them just really didn't add anything extra. They were larger on the outer part, and so you could kind of see them. They weren't very big. So I'm just not gonna reuse these ones. Even though I'm looking for something a little bit more natural, definitely just a little bit more intense than that one. I have decided today I wanna do something more neutral, so let's go into another one of the Element palettes. This is the 03 Geo palette. This one I feel like is a lot less monochromatic. There's oranges and browns in here, and some warm tone browns and some cool tone browns, and then what is almost like a muddy brown, or almost like a deep charcoaly gray color. And there's two beige shades. Probably neither of these would just show up all on their own, but they're nice for diffusing. And the shimmers here aren't like the last palette, which are 3 shimmers that are a varying shade of orange. These ones have like a gold, almost a greenish gold down here. I think this one's a duochrome, and then a gold shimmer, and then a brown shimmer. So I feel like you can get a neutral look out of this, but it's also not as monochromatic as the other palette. Now let's swatch this out. So let's go into Petrify first, which is one of the brightening shades, I think. This one actually might show up on me because it's a little bit deeper. It's got like a pinkish hue to it, more so than my skin tone. This next one is Fisher, and it's an orange shade. It looks a lot lighter on my swatch than it does in the pan. It looks like a bright orange, but it is not carrying out all the way. But these shades are very soft feeling. All right, this is the one I think is like a duochrome. It's like a flat shimmer, no texture, no real metallicness, but it's got like a green tinge to it. That's the one I was saying is not fully gold, like the one in the middle. That one is Magna. This one is Bulwark. Like, saying these names is crazy. This is like, I would say, a warmish toned brown. And then you have Starfell, which is that gold shimmer. All of these are very soft. No texture metallics. Not foiled at all. This one even more so than this one, which is on the softer side. And Terra is the diffusing shade, which is likely to be a nothing shade for me. Yeah, basically my skin tone. But it would be good to diffuse out Rock Slide, which is the last shade I'm gonna swatch. Here's Tectonic Tide. Okay, like the plates slipping, creating tsunami and a tide. Tectonic Tide a thing? Like if the plates under the ocean shift, is it called a tectonic tide? And this is called Pulverize. These are all very soft shimmers. This is the last shimmer here. This one has silver reflex in it, so that's actually very pretty. So all of the shimmers, see how different they are? One is almost a greenish gold, and then Rock Slide, the last shade here, is that charcoal gray, is what I've been calling it. Yeah, very different. This is such less a monochromatic palette than the other one, but very, very neutral. You can go warm toned, I think. Do a little bit of a fiery spring look, if you will. I have the lighting set on auto right now, so I think it just readjusted while I was showing you guys the swatches. So I am sorry about that. Let's take a look at what I want to do. I think I want to stick with all the browns, but use the greenish kind of duochrome. So I'm gonna like transition and then deepen, like with a warm tone and a cool tone, and see how that comes out. And then use this shimmer over here and maybe diffuse with either one of these light shades. So let's do that. Let's start off with Bulwark. I have no idea what that means. I'm not gonna do any lashes today. I would like to reserve the last set of lashes that I have from Game Beauty for one of the other palettes. Maybe something that's not as neutral, maybe something that's a little bit more intense to kind of amp it up. I never had any issues with the mattes in the last one, so I'm not anticipating having issues this time. I want to say I didn't set my lids last time either. And so the longevity, well, I mentioned it was okay. I don't think it was fabulous. It definitely wasn't my best, but I remember having no blending issues. I think these kind of come down to a color story preference. So I'm definitely interested to try, I think they're 8 pans. What are these other ones? No, the 10 pans. I think these ones are going to be a little bit more interesting because they're not monochromatic, to like really develop a look from this color story that's cohesive. I was looking at them this morning and I was like, do I want to try for one of those? But I know I'm looking for something a little bit more neutral today than vibrant. Plus those ones have a pressed glitter in it too, which is down a shimmer because I don't think I'll use that pressed glitter. I'm not above using a pressed glitter, but I feel like I don't find myself reaching for them, even if I think they're decent quality. All right, if I'm looking for something light, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go into this shimmer with just my finger because it's so smooth. It's the tacky kind of shimmer, so I think it's just gonna stick right away. And I would not need any glitter primer, even though I brought it here just in case. I'm just going in with a dry brush right now and picking this up to kind of even it out. It's picking up well on a dry brush. I just had to take a call and I kept doing my eyeshadow, so I was too lazy to spray it. Other ways I might have, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to need it. These are all super tacky shimmers, like no foiledness. I mentioned that before, but they have like a really good tack to them, so I'm not worried about it. Are you guys planning any vacations for summer? I feel like I should be, but we haven't done anything. My father-in-law, his wife of 20 years passed last January from cancer, and him and my husband haven't really been around each other since, I don't know, he was probably about 15, and he can't stay where he's at because he's like living alone and he's legally blind, and so he was gonna have to move anyway. So my husband, who grew up with his dad but hadn't seen him much in a while since he was about 15 for different circumstances, I was like, why don't you ask him to move here? My husband is not that straightforward. He would rather like you figure it out and then say something like, hey, I'd like you to move here, Dad. I'd like you to be closer to us so you can see your grandkids all the time. I'm a pretty assertive person and I do not mind confrontation at all. I don't mind saying what I feel. And I'm like the only one in my family that's like that, you know? Nobody ever wants to say anything if they're mad at somebody. And I'm all about it. I'm like, what? You only get this life once. Like if you go past the opportunity to say what you mean, that's it, folks. That's all you get. It's not coming back around. You don't have to be nasty to be assertive. Aggressive and assertive aren't the same thing, although I am both. But anyway, so he finally said something to his dad. I want to say probably like a year ago at this point, but he hadn't listed his house. So he finally listed it and it sold like immediately. So he's going to be moving out here. Like he ended up buying a condo here in Florida and he's going to be moving like during the summertime. And then my grandmother, who's in her 80s, who lives in California now, and even though she's near family, like I don't get to see her, you know, she kind of keeps to herself, and I kind of grew up with my grandmother. I've been convincing her to move here also. Like she should be around her grandkids and her great grandkids and all of that good stuff. I want the shimmer higher. So she finally just agreed. And so we've been looking for places for her, and she's not as far along as my father-in-law, who has already closed on a place and the inspections being done, etc., etc. But now I think it'll be a larger haul to get her from California than from Virginia, obviously, to Florida. But between the two of us, we have convinced them to move here to Florida to be closer to us. And I feel like my entire summer is going to be taken up by this. All right, this palette's like on the lighter side. It's not super intensely pigmented, I don't think. Like it's pretty desaturated. And I don't think this shade right here is like overly warm. Like once it gets to the eyes, it was fine. It's a nice brown shade. I think for a pretty neutral look, this palette is really nice. I don't know if it's going to be like my favorite neutral palette, the way that I feel like this orange one stands out in my mind, because even though it's monochromatic, it has some really, really interesting shimmers in here and some pretty unique shades of like almost coral, like bright coral shades. Although these two shades are super similar, but the palette itself is a little bit more unique in my collection, where this one, even though it's cool, is not super unique. And I don't know if I love this like greenish glitter. I mean, it's not bad. I'm actually adding some of this pure orangey gold to it. I don't know, it's not really doing anything. So far the quality is just super easy. There's nothing difficult about the formula. Like creating these eye looks wasn't difficult, even though I'm maybe not doing the most complex looks. I actually was thinking I would take this yellow eyeliner today because I picked this one and the green one up and haven't used either of them yet. Wow, that is like a super matte yellow. Let's do it. Let's just do it, shall we? Let's do a little pizzazz. Now I just made it way more intense, like adding these little yellow liners and a wing. How come I did this left side so much better than this right side? Like, why does this always happen? The yellow is pretty intense. It's cute and it's matte, so I don't know, it's pretty nice. I ended up going in with my Ulta Beauty Whoopsie Eye Line Corrector on this side. You guys, this thing works so good. I went too far down and then I just went like this to clean it up and it came right off. It leaves a little bit of like yellow left over, but I don't know how this works. Like, how does it suck up the product, you know? Anyway, I'm not gonna put on any lashes today. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup, then we'll come back and finish the eye look. All right, I just went and finished all of my makeup and then I threw on my Beauty Bay High Key mascara. Maybe my favorite mascara, second favorite mascara now. The Ritual Defy Levitation Lash always is up there, but this one either is like, I don't know, a close second. They like trade off, you know, depending upon what I'm looking for. All right, I think I'm gonna go into the warmer toned, the Bulwark shade on the lower lash line. I think it like brightens it up even. It gives it a little bit more brightness. All right, I'm gonna take the cooler tone brown shade in the outer corner, I have decided. And then I'm going to take a ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Brouhaha for the waterline. And now my Maybelline Sky High mascara for the lower lash line. Okay, so I loved this eyeliner. The eyeliner was smooth and matte and went on super creamy and beautiful. I really liked the eye look overall. I had fun playing with it. It came out way more yellow in a kind of orangey neutral palette, which was cool. You could do some different things with it. Everything performed really well, so I've been enjoying using them so far. So that was day number 2 with the Element Blast Geo palette. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you back here for day number 3. All right, welcome to day 3 of testing all of the Game Beauty palettes that I picked up. I'm feeling like a green look today. I think that's just what needs to happen. So I've been thinking about this palette ever since I opened it, and I thought I might try the other ones, but this is just calling to me, this particular color story. And I thought I might do some like graphic liner work. So I was practicing a little bit before I started filming. I only have about an hour before I have a meeting, so I do have to kind of hurry this one up just a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna end up doing the graphic liner work because I wanna play with some of these shimmers are just really delicious looking, like especially this kind of translucent white shade up here. It has like a green tinge to it, which is kind of hard to see, but I feel like I want that all over the lid, which is gonna make it hard to do like graphic liner work. Anyway, let's swatch this out and see what this color story looks like. Yeah, this is like a duochromed white that shifts green. Ooh, it's really pretty, but it doesn't have a super strong base to it. As you can see, it would be nice to put on top of like this neon color in Seed Flare. I don't know, we might do that. That was Luminescent Spore. This is Zoniate. I don't know what these words are. Oh, this is a pretty color. I'm liking the quality of these Element palettes. And by the way, this one is in the 04 Dendro color story or palette name. Ooh, this one's pretty. Snake Eater. So hard for me to read this tiny little print without my glasses on. Right here is Bulba, which is a pastel-y color. Really pretty. Oh, I just like the way this looks so far. So far, this is more on the pastel side. I think some of these other ones are going to be deeper. This is Luck Plus 4. There's like a true green shade. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the beeping in the background. I mentioned this in one other video, but everyone in my neighborhood was doing work to their driveway, like 4 different houses on my block. And this one was getting, I think the sprinklers moved like the week before last, and then just yesterday all the pavers showed up. So I guess they're putting in pavers in their driveway. This one is Seed Flare. One of them got a repave, one of them got pavers, and now another one is getting pavers, and then another house was like being redone probably by an investor and then being sold. This one is super green. It's actually pretty light, like lightly pigmented, kind of desaturated. So right now they've dumped dirt at the very end of our driveway. Ooh, this one is so pretty. Bad Breath. I love these shimmers. Ooh, delish. That one is so gorgeous looking. I love the range. These are very, very different tones. Grow is the deepest green in here, which has a teal element about it. It's not a true deep green, like a forest green. All right, there's the full color story. These shimmers are the most exciting. Probably a lot of different directions that I could go, but this one matches my shirt, which is like a chartreuse shade. So I feel like I want to use that one. That's actually the Seed Flare one that I was saying would look really good as a base. I know these liners are really good. I still feel like I want to do like some sort of graphic liner work. I've never done any type of graphic liner work before, but I just feel like these colors are perfect for that. And it's such a matte green, and these apply really well. The Persona 5 Royal X Keen Beauty. So they came from the Persona 5 Royal collection. I'm gonna attempt this. What do I think? I think great for one side. Let's see if I can't duplicate that on the other side. I don't know if I love this at all. Okay, I couldn't get it even. Part of the reason is, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this eye droops a little bit farther down, and so getting it even was like really difficult for me. I was not having a good time. So I'm just gonna go into Seed Flare with a really dense brush and like pack it all over. I think I'll probably do something ombre here. I'm not sure yet, but I think that's what we'll go for. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I'm not gonna do one eye at a time. I think that's pretty. All right, I'm gonna deepen the outer corner with this one. I think I might use 2 shimmers too. So we'll just keep the mattes, like predominantly these 2 shades as our little gradient here. This is not a super deep shade. I kind of wish this was a little bit more deep foresty green, but that's okay. I think these shades are kind of better packed first and then blended. All right, other side. Yeah, I'm enjoying packing these and then blending. Okay, I'm going to spray a flat brush, like a shimmer brush, and I'm gonna start with that Luminescent Spore shade. I think it's gonna pick up nicely, and lay it in the inner corner here on top of that Seed Flare shade. I don't think it would have like a super strong base without it. Like, it's pretty light. It's a nice inner corner highlight though. It's just so pretty. I really want to use it. It picks up pretty well on a damp brush. I'm not going in with like a glitter glue or anything. All right, I'm gonna spray the other side, and I'm gonna go into that Bad Breath shade, that deeper green shimmer that just looked so beautiful. This one doesn't pick up so well on a damp brush. Damping it on. Man, they are making some noise out there. Wait till they start cutting. I'm gonna have to like start filming at night. It's just too hot up here to really be filming at night. But when they start cutting those pavers, oh boy, the dust flies everywhere. This one is not like as deep as I wished it was. All right, I'm going back into that Grow shade, and oops, I just went in way too far. I'm gonna try and marry these 2 shades together, but it like took over this one. Okay, don't do that. I'm taking some of that like light seafoam blue and Bulba. I don't know, just bringing it up here a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty. I wish this outer corner, like this shade here, was deeper. It like blends, I don't know, pretty light. It diffuses out pretty well, or not, maybe not pretty well, but a lot. I think the look is really pretty. Again, I think a graphic liner would have been cute with this. Like if you can get your lines even. And again, I've never done like a graphic liner look before, so I was just envisioning something in my mind. I think this is pretty. I think it'll be prettier once we finish up the eye look. So I am going to finish my base makeup, and I will be right back so we can finish the eye look. Okay, we're back, and I forgot to hit record. Okay, so I took the Luminescent Spore shade in the inner corner, and then I took a more precision brush to go into the deep Grow shade in the outer corner. Now I think I'm gonna go Seed Flare, which is like this chartreuse shade. I think I'm gonna go the rest of the way on the lower lash line. I like this, it's funky. I think the question is gonna be, do I have a green liner to go with this? I don't know. I really wish I could have done something with the like graphic liner. I'm so sorry, the noise that it's making outside. It sounds like they're literally in here. They backing up indefinitely. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna try using my ColourPop BFF gel liner. I almost said liquid. This one is in Honeydew, and it's a beigey shade. Like just to brighten. Would that look good? I don't know, we're gonna try it. Okay, I didn't love it. I'm gonna go into the Supernova multi-chrome gel liner in Phoenix, which is more like this translucent shade. Like it's almost like yellowy, but it's shifty. All of these are, of course. It's not very different, but it's better. It literally sounds like they're backing up indefinitely. Okie dokie, that's good. Let's go into the Maybelline Sky High on the lower lashes. Got some rogue lashes down here. Okay, it's cute, it's bright, it's green, it's crazy. I was expecting this to go a little bit deeper though. That deep shade is such a true green when it gets to the eyes, and it's better packed. It's not like a real great deepening shade for me. And also it fades, like you start blending it and it definitely begins to dissipate. And I find that the color just gets lighter and lighter and lighter, like it almost starts to turn teal. I think this was pretty. Again, I really wish I could have done something with the liner, but we'll still try to use this liner and the lashes. There's still 2 more palettes to go, so I hope you enjoyed today's look with the Dendro Elemental Blast palette. I will see you guys back here for day 4. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome to day 4. Let's get into another palette. Let's do one of these 10 pen palettes. This one we're gonna do today is the Adventure palette. I did a green look last time, so I'm gonna try and stay away from maybe some of the greens in this one. It's a predominantly green color story, but I think we can do some other things with it. I don't really know what I want to do exactly today. Like I haven't planned out the look, but the swatching should help. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start from left to right, top to bottom. Here is Treasure, which is a shimmer shade. This formula is so much different than the other one. This is like a satin. It's kind of even like a chalkier shade. It's not overly foiled like some of the other shimmers in the other palettes. And these have marbled shades in them. This one is called Boss, and it's like a marbled purple and white shade. It is a shimmer, but again, it feels more like a satin, just a softer shimmer in general. And this one maybe, I don't know, is a little bit more like sparkly. This one is in Stealth. It's a green shimmer. You can definitely see some more texture. That looks like it has like a brown base to it. Not necessarily that it's like a duochrome, but that it has some base, not like a black base, but a brown base. Is that even possible? And this one is EXP. Is that short for experience? Ooh, I think my finger was a little bit wet. This is like a light green matte shade. Okay, there you go. And then Level Up is another green matte shade. It's a little bit deeper, but it's not a deepening shade. Not for me, really. Wow, some of these are like a little bit crumbly. I just had one, like this one just fall onto the table, kind of broke apart, but the mattes are swatching really nicely. You can just tell this is a different formula. This is ATK, and this is another one of those kind of marbleized shimmers. That one's really pretty. I love orange shimmers. I might reach into that one. The color story is like all over the place. Yellow, purple, green, orange. Okay. Then this next one is Dungeon. It's a brown shade, a matte brown, not overly dark, pretty desaturated, pretty warm tone brown shade. There you go. Wow, that is really all over the place. It looks less predominantly green swatched out than it does while looking at it. Well, I guess there's 3 more green shades. All right, let's go to Heal, which is the pressed glitter. Ooh, I don't hate that pressed glitter. You know, sometimes they just have like really good intensity and like good sticking power, and they're nice shimmers. This one left a lot left over. I think I have to do a pretty wearable look today because my son has his ninja class. This is Monday. Again, as I'm filming, this one is Maze, so I have to do something like pretty approachable. Plus I also have to pick him up from camp. This is the first day of summer for us here, June 3rd, and he is in like a naturalist camp. So I'm not gonna like roll up with like a crazy eye look. I think I wanna do something pretty wearable and pretty neutral today. I think I can get that out of this palette. Okay, it's a little bit more predominantly green once you swatch it out, because you get to those last 3 shades and they're pretty green. But there's so many different things you could do with this. It's not like one direction at all, like where the other ones were so much more monochromatic. Because this palette can do other things, and we did like a full green look last time, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I think I'm gonna take just this brown shade like all over. I'm gonna start it in the outer corner and I'm gonna work it inward. And I think I wanna take maybe 2 shimmers. Like this is almost like a green, it is a duochrome. When you guys look at it, it's green, but if I flip it, it's like a brown. Maybe you can kind of see it like right there. And then maybe this orange one, like in the inner corner. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I need to do something a little bit more neutral, and I'd like to see if we can do something a little bit more neutral with this palette. So I'm gonna take Dungeon because it's a really warm tone shade with that orange. And I'm gonna start it in the outer corner and honestly, just buff it inwards. It's going to be the only matte that we use today. You guys can hear my husband downstairs. He is on a like training meeting right now. I swear they always do things at like a lunch break. Like those guys will schedule meetings like right at noon and then at 1 and then at 2, and it's like, oh, you're gonna break at 2? Got it. It's like breaks go out the window when there's work from home. Like nobody has a concept of, you know, I still get an hour off, right? Anyway, like I get calls at like 7:05 in the morning, 7:10. It's like, yo, don't. Just because I don't leave my house doesn't mean I want to answer you at 7 o'clock. Like, I'm standing here in my towel. Thank you very much. All right, this is a pretty pigmented matte. I don't really have to build too much. I'm actually going in pretty light with it. I really like green looks, but both of these two palettes, this one and the last one, they don't go super deep, and I don't love that. Like, I wish the greens were darker or they had like one deepening shade in here. That's what I'm missing from both of these palettes. All right, I'm gonna take that Stealth shade, which, gosh, it's like green to brown, brown, green. And I'm going to start it right here. Oh, it's like really green when it gets to the eyes. Okay, pretty though. It's like soft shimmer, you know, no texture to this, no foiledness whatsoever. All right, ATK, what is that? What does ATK stand for? You guys tell me. Forget. ATK. Going in with that orange, and I'm making this such less an approachable look by the second. Still doing work on the neighbor's driveway. I think the last time I was filming, they were doing the same thing. They're not done yet. They're putting in new pavers. And I'm pretty sure the next door neighbors whom they're friendly with, they are using like the same contractor. Like they must have said, oh my gosh, we should redo our driveways together, because they were like back to back replacing their driveway with pavers, which I thought, that's not a coinkydink. So anyway, now they're like sawing them. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of Treasure right here. Treasure was the yellow shimmer. I'm just bringing it a tad bit in the inner corner. I like it. Okay, I gotta clean it up, but I'm going back into Dungeon in the outer corner again. I'm gonna marry these two shades together. Yeah, that is about as approachable as I could make it with these shades. I don't think it looks bad. It's kind of cute, you know? Maybe I could, jeez, that saw is so loud. But even throwing the purple in here, you could do some interesting things, I think. I did not get to use the liner last time, the green liner, so I'm going to throw this one on from the Persona 5 Royal Collection, the After School Liquid Eyeliner Pen in Oracle, 05 Oracle. And I'm gonna use it with this palette today. I actually really do like these liners. They're really nice and creamy and matte, and they go on in like one glide. I think I was even like doing both eyes without like reshaking it. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna do any lower lash line work today. I'm gonna keep it like this. I think it's cute. I think it's funky. I don't care. This is how I like it. So let me go finish the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back. You know that loud family that like goes out in public and just makes a spectacle? That's my family, I think. All right, welcome to what day is this? How many palettes do we have? Day 5 on the last palette. This is the Harbinger palette. We also have the lashes to go, so I want to put these on. This palette specifically, I think, is more like a burgundy color story, or I'm probably going to do something with like the deeper purples in here. So I wore a shirt that I thought would look flattering with it. I came up here like 2 or 3 hours ago to start filming this, but it is Sunday and it's a crazy Sunday. My hair was nicer 2 hours ago until the groceries arrived. Well, my husband arrived with the groceries and laundry and now it looks like a crazy hot mess. So do you guys have hair like that? Like I literally flat ironed it to get the frizz out, which usually does it, but like the minute I start moving around, it's done. It's toast. The frizz just settles in. It's crazy. I know my daughter is super loud in the room next to us. All right, guys, here is the color story. I like this one. I really like the deep tones, and I'm really into like darker shadows right now. I don't know why. This shade right here looks like white back on camera, but it is like a light gray. This one right here in the middle, and then this one over here is like a white shimmer. I am gonna swatch this out, but like I pulled my skin on this finger, so I got a boo-boo right there. So you guys are gonna see that. All right, let's start swatching this. From left to right, top to bottom. This is Lun-Lun. I don't know what that is. This just seems like kind of a flatter shimmer. Like there's not texture here. There's no duochromeness here. Just a white shimmer. And then we have a matte purple. This one is pretty soft and pretty desaturated. Yeah, I don't think it's like intense. The one next to it looks like a black, but I wonder if it's almost going to come out like a super deep purple shade. The formula in these is definitely different than the Element palettes. Are they Element or Elemental? This one is Doom, which I said, no, look at that. That is a rich black shade. Very nice. Very intense, very pigmented. I like those two shades together, that lighter purple and this black. Oh, that looks so good. Yes, I'm already seeing a look here. All right, we have a silver shimmer. Again, these are not textured. No foiledness. Nice little bit of tack to it. These shimmers probably aren't my favorite. Even if a shimmer is like lighter, I still like it to have maybe some sparkles in it or whatnot. This one is so interesting. It's brown. It's this one right here. I just swirled it together. It's brown with white flecks. But like the minute I started smushing it together, it started turning like greenish blue. Do you guys see that? It's crazy. I actually really like that shimmer shade. And it's like sparkly. Oh, it's really pretty. I like that one. Ooh, I can immediately see like a bunch of different looks in this palette. Dissimilar to what I found with some of the other ones, maybe. There's just like a lot more things you can do with this one. I think this one might be my favorite. Anyway, this one is Dawn. That brown one was Abyss. There's my teenager. And this one is like a purple glittery shimmer. Yeah, again, really thin, not foiled. But this one, for example, has some nice sparkles in it. She's just over there giggling on the phone. Oh my gosh. This one is Molten, which is like a burnt orange, I would say. It almost looks red in the pan, but I don't think it's like really red. I think it's more orange. That's an interesting tone to throw in here. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Like, I don't know what I would pair that with. You know, like shimmer wise, maybe that with the black with the white shimmer. I don't know. This is Lament, and it's a gray matte, but it's a super light gray. So this might be like a diffusing shade. I don't know how much this would actually show up, but you could pair it with that black shade to get a really smoky look. Wow, why do I see so many more looks in this palette than some of the other ones? This is Woe, which is another really soft shimmer that is like no texture. It's more like a satin. All those ones that don't have little sparklies are more like satins. This one is so pretty. Again, one you could pair with that black shade, and this one is in Herald. This is another satin shade, satin shimmer. Oh, dang, that one is so pretty. So much prettier than I thought it was going to be. It has a brown base to it, and it like buffs out like really nicely. Super smooth. Yikesy, yikesy. So this one right here is not a shimmer I think I want to play with because it's just a little bit like underwhelming maybe. You know, unless I throw that purple down as like a base, it's a lot of translucence. I'm gonna go for a deeper look. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take like Devour, this purple shade, I'm holding the palette upside down, and Lament in this light gray shade, and I'm gonna like mix them together to get something, and I'm gonna throw that all over the eye as like a base probably. And then I am gonna go into Woe, this deep purple shade, as my shimmer, and the black is gonna go into the outer corner. That's what we're gonna do. I'm doing my standard eye look again, nothing super different. I just don't want this purple to be like, you know, a bright purple when it goes on. I want it to be more of like a smoky purple. So that's why I'm dipping these two shades together. I still want them to be pigmented though. I feel like this is probably just more of a desaturated shade. Like the purple itself was just a little bit desaturated. I didn't set my eyes again. She's nutso. I didn't set my eyes again with any primer. I just used face powder just so that these shadows would go on smoothly. I have found though that these have decent longevity to them without setting your eyes. I don't even know if I've set my eyes once when I've used these. This is really pretty, these two colors mixed together. Mind you, I'm going in with a really fluffy brush to just diffuse that purple shade out. It's like a gray purple. It's really pretty. All right, I'm going straight into Woe with my finger. Oh, I'm so excited to wear this. Oh, I could see myself wearing this. It's just an all over shade, you guys. Like nothing else but this shade right here. There's something about a deep purple, like all on its own. It's really, really nice. I'm making a little bit of a mess. Shadow literally all over me. But I'm gonna buff it out with something a little bit more dense, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna buff the edges out just a little bit with this. These satin shades, like once you get them to the lid and you start kind of like buffing them out, they're more like a matte, you know? Like a kind of shimmery matte. They're really pretty. Again, can totally wear these like all on their own, I think. I just see so many looks in this palette. It's funny that I'm like wanting to reach for these really deep shadows and it's spring when, you know, I think a lot of people go for like lighter looks, brighter looks maybe, and I'm in my dark phase right now. I don't know why my phases just, I don't know, they don't line up all the time. Like when everyone was into those really pink, bright pink blushes, which now I feel like a lot of people are going for more orangey peachy shades. But last year when everyone was on that like super pink blush trend, all I wanted was peachy blushes. All I wanted was orange tones. And I didn't line up with the trends. Is that a good or a bad thing? Like I have no clue. Have I ever mentioned I hate trends mostly? Like especially if I don't like it. And I feel like a lot of people really enjoy trends. Like they will jump on a trend to see if they like it. Or even sometimes if they don't. And I hate that. Like unless I came to it naturally, like I don't want anything to do with a trend. I don't want to wear what's trending. I want to wear what the hell I want to wear. What do you guys feel about trends? Like, are you all about it? Do you like to keep up with the latest trends? Are you like hell to the no? You know, I was just thinking about this. When people were like parting their hair on the side, I want to say it was like what, 2 or 3 years ago, like everyone was doing it. I have parted my hair. I've part my hair down the middle like my whole life essentially. And I feel like the middle part came back around. I never did the side part like everyone else was doing. I don't know. I just find it kind of hilarious. Like trends will always come back around. We know that, right? But I'll just wait. I'll wait patiently till it comes back, you know? Okay. All right, I'm going into Doom in the outer corner. Oof, I'm going in with like the lightest hand, you guys. And it's pretty intense. I think I need to like buff this out just a little so that it's not too dang dark and like takes over this purple too much. I actually want to go in with a bit of a tighter brush like this to go down here and buff this out. My husband literally just called me on the phone. Okay, babe, food. My husband cooks for us, like not every meal, but like a lot. I think he likes being in the kitchen. He also doesn't like to clean, so there you go. Gotta cook or clean, dude. When we're both working full time and we both make almost an even amount of money, I don't even think that should matter, you know? Like even if you didn't make the same amount of money, but it helps, you know, because then I can push my weight around. Like, bro, you ain't living like this without me. You got lucky. Anyway. The point is, if you guys both work full time, you better share that shit, you know what I mean? Anyway, I clean, I organize, and he makes all the meals. It's absolutely wonderful because I lit my kitchen on fire one time when I was cooking oil. That was amazing. That was so good. That was a great time. That was awesome. And I haven't wanted to cook since then. I probably did cook a little bit after that, but I think it was like around the time I was pregnant with my son, which was 6 years ago, okay? 6.5 years ago. Almost 7 now, I guess. And everything stunk. I couldn't even stand my husband like cooking in the kitchen. It was grossing me out so much. I literally I couldn't stand the smell of anything. And it was probably right around then that I just decided I didn't want to cook anymore, I guess. Haven't really cooked a whole ton since then. So the look came out a lot more The look came out so much more monochromatic than I was kind of hoping for. Mostly because that black shade, I kind of diffused it out. I didn't make it like super deep in the outer corner. And then like, I don't know, blending them together, it just came out like a lot more monochromatic than I thought it was going to be. But oh well, let's go into these lashes. So these ones were in the 05 Lun-Lun. I swear he's not being tortured. He's like playing a game. I actually think I'm gonna like these ones better than the other ones because these are just a little bit longer. The other ones, as I told you guys before, they were not long enough. They didn't have enough of a curl on me, and so they weren't dramatic enough for me. I think these ones are going to be a lot better because I really enjoyed the band of these. The band is super thin and they're like really nice, but I did pick lashes that were just a little bit too natural. All right, I'm gonna trim these down, and I'm actually gonna take a little bit off the ends, like both sides, because I think like these are just shaped differently to the point where they actually start to get shorter on the ends rather than longer, like on the outside of this lash. And I prefer when the end gets longer. All right, I'm gonna throw these on with my lash adhesive from Moira Beauty. Well, it's my 2-in-1 lash adhesive, so it's a liner and lash adhesive in one. I really like these lashes so much better than the other ones. These are more punchy. You can actually like see these a little bit better, whereas the other ones kind of like didn't look longer than my actual lashes, so it didn't look like it was doing much. But I really like these because the band is really thin. They're really simple to put on. Sometimes they don't even cut them properly, where they're not like curling the way that I think that they should. And so they don't even fit on my eye shape very well. Okay, I took my Eye Method Beauty. These are the wing stamps. I haven't used these in a while, but I wanted to do a little bit of a wing. Oops, that one I did way too far down. Okay, that's as good as she's gonna get. I'm gonna tight line with my Sephora retractable gel liner. Sorry, this mirror is in the way. This one is in black, I guess. I don't know. 01 black. Okay, I need to go and finish my base makeup, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the eye look. So I have this multi-chrome gloss from Kaima Cosmetics that I've had on my everyday makeup. It's actually my testing new makeup, and I haven't felt like I had an eye look to wear it. So I put this on. It's in the shade Blazed Bloom. It's like a purple to green shift. It emphasizes so many of my lip lines, and I wish that I didn't do that, because otherwise it's like this really gorgeous multi-chrome gloss. Anyway, I went pretty dark today. Let's go ahead and finish up this eye look. I think there's a couple of things that I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna go back into the Sephora gel liner, and I'm going to throw this in the waterline. Then I'm gonna take the black in like the outer part here. I might do the whole thing in this black shade, but I think I'm gonna throw like the silver, like maybe in the middle. Ooh, I don't like this brush. I don't like this brush at all. This one has like blue on it. It's like stained, I guess. I don't know. I don't like this black shade on the lower lash line. I think it was that brush that I started with. This black shade is like, I don't know, it's like sticky, if that makes sense. It's not like buffing out perfectly. It's not also like overly pigmented on this brush either. I don't know. I'm gonna take that like silver shimmer though, and like put it right here. Yes, I like it. Just like in the inner part of the lower lash line. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have shadow in my eye. Okay, I almost went blind. I'm good, I'm back. I'm all good. Wow, okay, yes, and more yes. I'm gonna take my Beauty Bay High Key Mascara from my lower lash line. It's like intense volumizing, and I typically don't do a lower lash mascara. What is with this little flu hair? Lower lash line mascara with anything other than like something really lengthening. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. Let's try it. Okay, it's not bad. Yes, okay. This lipstick is cray though. I like it. I like it a lot. It is very dark. And that's it. That's the completed look for day number 5 on the last palette. Why is this my favorite? I don't know. Probably because I'm really into darker shades at the current moment. I have to say, I don't necessarily love the quality of these bigger 10 pans more than I liked the elemental ones. I feel like I liked the formula better, but I kind of feel like I liked the variety in these bigger ones a little bit better, because obviously those other ones are pretty monochromatic, and I feel like these are even like a little bit desaturated. You know, even though I was able to like build up a pretty deep eye look, I still feel like these ones are way more desaturated than the other ones, which are pretty darn pigmented. I don't think they're the same formula, but these palettes are made in Italy. Well, these ones are, and then these ones are made in China. In that case, it's like a different manufacturer, so I could see why it would be a different formula. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Again, don't forget, if you're interested in checking any of these palettes out, I will have them linked, but I will also have a link to their website in addition to my discount code that saves you 10% off if you guys are interested in checking anything out that they have on their site. I would love to hear if you guys have tested their formula, maybe these palettes, maybe something else, what you guys thought of it. That's it, you guys. That's a wrap on everything Game Beauty. I hope you enjoyed this style video. I am out of here. I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.